For the longest time, the MVP award has been the most patronizing thing we've seen in sports. Some seasons it's about the best player, some seasons it's about the most impactful, some seasons it's about team success, but all we know is it's forever been a revolving door of requirements. And it doesn't even matter what sport, whether it's baseball, football, or basketball. But here in the NBA this season, we're having the same issue. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Nikola Jokic are neck and neck for the 2024 MVP, but nobody knows who to vote for. Do you vote for Shai, who's averaging 35-5 on the best team in the league? Or do you vote for Jokic, someone who's averaging a triple-double and leading his team to a top 3 seed in the West, despite not having another All-Star on his team? It's time to set a scoring system for this award. I've looked at every single player that has won MVP in order to see what the league values most. With that, I've set up this scoring system. First off, the team needs to be a top 3 seed in their conference. Of the MVP winners from 1990 forward, only one of those winners were on a team that were not a top 3 seed. In order to be the most valuable player, your team needs to be valuable as well. It just makes sense. If the candidate is on a team that's a top 3 seed, they will get 3 points. But it doesn't just stop at being a top 3 seed, because there's a significant difference between the 1 seed and the 3 seed at times. So to add to the scoring system, if the team is the top seed in their conference, the MVP candidate gets an extra point. And if the team is the top team in the entire league, they get another extra point. But with the team record being so important to this award, it should hurt the MVP candidate's chances with how stacked the team is. So we gotta add something to this scoring system. You need to prove you're the most valuable player by doing the most with the least amount of help. If your team has 3 or 4 All-Stars, of course your team is going to be the top team in the league. But the best player on that team should not get the recognition of the most valuable player in the league. So for every other All-Star that is on the team alongside the MVP, that's -1 for the candidate. This is why a guy like Donovan Mitchell isn't up for MVP. Because although his team is the best in the Eastern Conference, he has 2 other All-Stars on his team with him and Darius Garland and Evan Mobley. His team's success is more dependent on his team than it is him. And as the most valuable player, we should not be able to say that. But of course, this award isn't all about team success. So let's move to the individual accolades of the player. There's a thing that I like to say with this. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't. And what better way to show the best player in the league other than stats? Of course, the MVP has to be among the best statistical players in the league. So for this scoring system, for every major statistical category that the player is top 3 in, they get 1 point each. That's points, rebounds, assists, steals, and blocks. So if the MVP candidate is top 3 in points, steals, and blocks, they would get 3 points. There's always a team in the regular season that is great, but no one player on their team should be an MVP candidate. And this requirement separates the team aspect from the award. A team like the Rockets is among the best in the league, but you look at their best players, and they don't have a guy who's close to top 5 in any major stat category. So of course they should not get any recognition in the MVP voting. The whole time I'm making this scoring system, I'm thinking about one thing. How do I include storylines to this? We all know that the MVP isn't just the most valuable player. It's also who the NBA and media want to push as their star. Like the MVP in 2023. It should have gone to Jokic for the 3rd straight year, but Embiid finally broke into that superstar mold, and winning 3 straight MVPs is reserved strictly to Larry Bird. Then I thought of something. The way you win MVP is by doing something historic that the media and the NBA are going to talk about. Once you do that, that puts the candidate in a great place to win the award. So here's how I scored this. If you do something historic over the course of the entire season, whether it's team or individual success, it's 3 points. We saw Westbrook win the MVP because he averaged a triple-double, and we saw Steph Curry and Michael Jordan win the MVP when their team won over 70 games. Then there are special things that happen during the season that are also historic, and those are worth 1 point. Things like Kobe's 81-point game, Westbrook's 20-20-20 game after Nipsey Hussle died, things that us NBA fans are going to remember for as long as we are alive. Those are the things that have value that people don't understand when determining the MVP. Now that we got the grading scale, let's go into this year's race. SGA, Thunder are the best team in the league, that's 5 points. He has another All-Star on his team in Jalen Williams, so let's subtract 1 to give him 4 points. In the major stat categories, he's top 3 in points and steals, having his point total go to 6. Then we go to the historic significance. There has never been a team that has won 70 games where the best player didn't win MVP. It's only happened twice. The 72-10 Bulls and the 73-9 Warriors. As of this recording, the Thunder have a chance to reach that mark, being the third team in NBA history to win 70 games in the regular season. If that happens, we can add 3 points to SGA, finishing his total with 9 points. Now we move to Jokic. His team is the third seed in the West, giving him 3 points. He has no other All-Stars on his team, so no points gets taken away from him. He's top 3 in points, assists, steals, and rebounds, making his total 7 points. Then we have his 30-20-20 game, the only one in NBA history, so that's an extra point. And then we have a 61-point triple-double that he just did last night, which is the highest point total with a triple-double, and only the third time it's happened in NBA history, pushing his total up to 9. He's tied with Shai right now if the Thunder win 70 games. But there's one detail that we're missing. Jokic is averaging a triple-double this season. He'd be the third player in NBA history to average a triple-double, putting his stamp on history as we know it. That gives him an extra 3 points, and he finishes with 12 compared to Shai's 9, leaving us with Jokic as the 2025 MVP. There's still major consideration left in the season. The Nuggets still have to finish top 3 in a tight Western Conference for Jokic to get his 3 points. He also has to keep up his production until the end of the season to stay top 3 in the major statistical categories. And Shai has to continue to lead his team to wins to strengthen his case to win his first MVP. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments. All that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys later.